Hi, I'm Lisa Haydon with Community Focus on Washington County, Channel 6, Central Kentucky TV. And today we're happy to have with us Judge John Settles, the Washington County Judge Executive. Welcome, John.
Oh, it's good
Judge.
to be here, Lisa. It seems like it's been a while since we've talked.
I know it. It really has.
I always enjoy the opportunity to talk about the community and enjoy the opportunity to visit with you. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to today.
Yeah, me too. Well, you know, it has been a long time. And I know a lot of things have been going on since we last met. So I just wanted to get an update on things and get you to fill me in or fill our audience in.
Well, I'll start with one thing that's kind of historic and iconic, and that's our covered bridge. There's a couple or three topics I'd really like to cover, but I just want to make sure I mention that. The county, through the state, from the federal government, received a grant several years ago, finally got it accessed, and the bridge is being restored as we speak. A lot of work has been done. It's supposed to be completed by November, and we'll have a restored, a covered bridge. One of the few in Kentucky, we're the westernmost covered bridge in Kentucky and the longest covered bridge in Kentucky. Matter of fact, I'm working with a group from Fleming County. We're trying to initiate the Kentucky Covered Bridge Trail, and I'm going to a meeting in Fleming County on Friday. It's more of an organizational meeting, and it would bring tourism, draw some attention to our county, and so I'm looking forward to that. And we're planning to have a grand reopening, or once the bridge is completed, we want to have something fairly grand, something pretty large at the bridge to draw not only local attention but state attention. So I wanted to mention that before we get into all the other stuff. So.
Well, I knew that the bridge was being renovated, and it's been a long, tedious process.
Yes, it has.
I mean, when did that start?
The first grant was received in 2007. So it's taken that long to access the money through the state to come up with the match, and the actual construction or rehabilitation is a 2-year process. And we have one of the foremost in the United States gentleman, and his family, more or less, that's doing the work is Mr. Grayton, Arnold Grayton. He's recognized all over the United States as being the expert in restoration of covered bridges and other old items. I understand that he just recently won the bid to restore in Boston the Mayflower.
Wow.
And so that's going to be his next big job. So go from the Beach Fork Covered Bridge to the Mayflower in
The
Boston.
Mayflower Hotel, you mean?
No, the ship.
Mayflower, oh, the Mayflower
The
ship.
ship.
Oh, because I'm thinking of
They're going to dry dock it. They're building a building over it, and he said that could be a 3 to 4 year process of doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're very lucky to have that type of expertise to do our bridge. So it'll bring it back to its original.
What concerned me, Lisa, if anybody hadn't been out there recently, the bridge was beginning to canter. It was slipping off its foundation, and I don't think it was going to be but a few more years that we would have lost the bridge. So, and it was such an iconic, historic structure for our county. Means so much to our history, and I'm so glad that we're getting it restored and preserve it for many more years.
Right, right. And as you said, it does attract people here.
Yes, it does.
I mean, we get tourists here just to see that bridge.
And if we can get on that trail and get publications and get a website, then it'll be even more. So.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. And what else?
Next item I think that we definitely need to discuss is the whole movement, reorganization of our recycling, our road department, our, as some people lovingly call it, our campus, that we're going to, and let me explain, over the last few years, commodity prices, recycling commodity prices have dropped significantly. And we had begun to lose more and more money every year. Brad Langford is our solid waste coordinator, but he also oversees recycling. He has done a remarkable job in cutting costs. Our expenses have gone down, but our income has exponentially declined. So we felt like we had to get into a building that the county owned, no longer pay a lease. So we started looking. And our old road department building, where our road department was housed, was antiquated, much too small. we even had equipment we could not get into our own shop because the equipment had gotten larger. Our building just wouldn't accommodate it. So we decided we were looking at a new road department shop. So we decided to go ahead with that, build a new shop, and then kind of retrofit our old shop as a recycling center, which is on county property, owned by the county, so there will be no more lease. Doing all that, we're also going to have to downsize a little, which means our biggest expense, of course, was the lease. The second expense are employees. That we had 4 full-time employees that supervised inmates. Inmates do most of the work, but you have to have certified people that supervise. And then the meal cost for inmates. That's all we pay them. We just furnish their meals, and that runs $15,000 to $16,000 a year, just paying for 8 to 10 inmates. So we're going to reduce the number of inmates, potentially reduce 1 employee, and then take the lease cost away. We're anticipating between $70,000 and $80,000 a year savings that will not come off the bottom line of recycling. So we're moving to that site, trying not to spend very much money because we want to make sure that recycling is a viable option when we are controlling more of our costs. Many people certainly do not want to see recycling go away because it's just the right thing to do. But at the same time, we as the leaders and as the court are concerned about the amount of money that we've been subsidizing over the last few years. So we're trying to get a handle on that. If we can break even or run in the red at a small amount, then everybody's okay with that. We can put some public funds into that. But and hopefully commodity prices will come up. And for example, let me give you an example. About 3 years ago, a ton price on our cardboard that we recycle was $120 to $130. The price we're getting now is between $60, $65 a ton.
Wow.
So our income is cut, and that's the biggest volume that we recycle is cardboard. So, and metal prices are almost half. So all the metal that we recycle, our income has just been cut drastically. And so it's a money-saving move. I appreciate people's patience. And along that same line, I want to go back to what I said about being a campus. Some people laugh at me when I say that, but that's the whole idea that we want to present. When we started looking at our road department, too many times we see the same thing over and over and over again, and you don't see it. And we got to looking at it, and we had some pieces of equipment sitting around. We had the grass that was grown too tall on one area. We had old tile laying around. Some of our buildings had different shades of white on the paint, and just some things that weren't aesthetically pleasing. Our fence that ran across by Walnut Street had gotten in bad shape. There were just a lot of things when you really start picking at it, just didn't look good. So we've made a commitment by moving recycling out there because there's some concern that we'll have litter, that there'll be trash blowing around. So we've made a commitment that we're going to make the whole area, campus, if you will, we're going to beautify it. Matter of fact, I met with a gentleman this morning that has a 3D rendering. He's put all the buildings on the site, and he's put different species of trees and landscaping, and he can put a plank fence or he can put a row of hedges, and so we're going to present that to a committee, and that brings me to the committee. We set up a campus committee made up of Magistrate Hal Good, Magistrate Billy Riney, Hamilton Sims, who was formerly county attorney, and Hamilton has a really good field for aesthetics, and then asked the mayor to appoint someone or ask for volunteer, and Brooke Coulter from the city council is going to serve on that committee, and then one of the neighbors that lives relatively close, Margaret Goatley, is going to serve on that committee. So we're trying to involve all of our neighbors because they're the ones that are going to have to look at it, at night, during the weekends when people are not there. And then we want the people who visit the park, they're going to be looking at the backside of our buildings. We've already got some plans. There's some different ideas on what we're going to do to the backside. At the very least, we'll be planting some trees. That's the very least. And as you well know, being on city council, this all takes money, and so it may be a multi-year program plan that we do it. But this committee has been tasked to come up with that plan of what's the highest priority, what we're going to do first, second, third, and then overall what they want done to make that area aesthetically pleasing. It'll be a nice entrance to the park off of Walnut Street, and so that we, again, don't get complacent and looking at our own property and saying, well, it looks okay to me, but we've got to consider our neighbors. So we're trying to be good neighbors.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good to hear, because I have heard some, people have been concerned that live in that area, and that is a part of the city with your land, we're right by the city park.
Right.
And so, that I'm really glad to hear that, and I know a lot of people will be.
Well,
and of course I knew that was in the works anyway, and I think that's a really good idea.
Well, I'm excited to bring the two ladies on. I do need to mention also that Park Director Bernard Smalley is going to be an advisory to the committee, and then our recycling coordinator Brad Langford, and then our road department director Dale Mann is going to be also advisory position, not a voting position, but when they need questions answered or when they need information gathered, then these three gentlemen will be a part of that. So they'll need their input from time to time on maybe where they can do something and so on. And hopefully this committee, they're going to meet next Friday, the 24th, after our court meeting. Hopefully this committee can look at funding, how much anticipated funding for each step that they're planning to do. And our budget's tight, but I'm working on the budget now, so I kind of need to know a figure that I can put in for next year, because the court is committed. I was well pleased when we took this whole idea to the court, and they're committed to making this a better looking facility and being good neighbors. And now it's even more important because of the new houses that are built to the north of it.
Right.
So we need to, and you got the beautiful horse farm across the road, and there's just so many reasons that we need to be look as good, if not better, than all those surrounding us.
Yeah. Well, that's really good news. And so, and my question is too, since I'm a regular out to the recycling center, even though I get city pickup, sometimes I forget, so I just take it out to the,
Right.
Now, will those dumpsters stay, or will they be moved to, when will all that go into effect?
Okay, the transition. We have to vacate our present site by April 1st. Matter of fact, as we speak, new lighting and the upgraded electrical is being worked on in our new building, our transformed building. So that has to be done before we move our heavy equipment. We have 3 balers that compress and bale up all the commodities. Those will be the last to be moved. They're going to be moved the last week of March. So there's going to be a period of probably minimally a week, maybe 10 days, that we're not going to be able to receive, because we've got less area to store out there. So we're going to have to be more efficient and run the recyclables through the baler, get them prepared to ship out. So there's going to be, and we're preparing now to maybe announce that in the paper next week, on the TV, on radio, wherever, and on our social media, wherever we can get the word out that there's going to be a short period during the move that we're basically going to have shut down. So we'll make that known publicly.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll just hold on to it till you're there, that's all.
Well,
work.
having said that, I would like to announce that we've just initiated, Washington County Fiscal Court has a Facebook page now. Just just started about a week ago, and the lady that's doing it, an employee of mine of the county's Amanda Holderman. She was unfortunately one of the ladies that was working in St. Catherine, and so I was able to hire her. We had a lady that retired, and she's just been an excellent addition. And she's young and understands how to do all this technical stuff. So she's really adding. She's trying to on a daily basis to put something new on, and a lot of it right now is just basic information about the county. So we invite anybody that wants to friend us to come on and do that. I would remind people that we do have a website. It's www.washingtoncountyky, all one word, .com. That's our website. So if people want, we've got a few forms on there. We have meeting dates, and of course we're trying to put all that on the Facebook page, the meeting dates and all that. We're trying to put our dates for our spring cleanup. We're no longer able to do door-to-door pickup, but we have free drop-off at the landfill down on St. Rose Lebanon Road. That starts May the, I think it's May, I don't have my dates written down. May the 1st, April 1st through May 27th. I knew that didn't sound right. Because we try to go the month of April and May, and then we do another month in the fall, the month of October. But we have to end it on a Saturday because of our collection regimen. So May 27th will be the ending period. So encourage people, if they have large, bulky items, no household trash, stuff like that, that they need to get rid of. They've got an old refrigerator, an old couch, or something like that, then that's free drop-off during those days.
Yeah.
We can't transport it, but anybody brings it in, there's no cost. Now, the construction, demolition debris landfill for contractors, now there's still a charge for that. But this is just the household goods, things that people trying to do a little spring cleaning.
Right,
So,
right. Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of things to get rid of when you start cleaning. So, old broken bikes and
oh yeah, really.
And you know, there's always plenty to get rid of. But so that's good. I'm glad to hear that. So, what else is going on?
Well, we're celebrating, actually, I think today, our year anniversary of being in my new offices. And we're sitting in our historic, iconic old courtroom, and the judges' offices are directly above us on the second floor. We moved a year ago. We had a local contractor that did the restoration of that. I would invite anyone to come by and see me. We were able to, for those that are familiar with the courtroom, there's 4 pillars in the courtroom, and they're clad in wood and painted, and nobody really thought that much about it. But when we started doing the discovery work of which walls we could take out to make it a different configuration, we found these fairly large upright logs up there, and they're hand hewn. And when we started doing the measure, the pillars in the courtroom run all the way up to the bell tower. And so we've exposed a couple of those in my office and in Sheila's office, my executive assistant's office, just to show the history, the craftsmanship that had to go into this building, how they are tied together, spliced together, and to think about how long it took somebody with some kind of axe to carve that out. I mean, these are probably 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 post pillars that go all the way up through the building, and so it's really unique. We did very little to the floors. We wanted to leave them with as much character as possible. So we love it. We're on the second floor overlooking Main Street, and the elevator.
And the windows, you maintained those?
Yes, sure did. The windows they're not original. The windows in this building were put in. The original were 12 panes over 12 panes, 12 by 12s. These were put in sometime in the early 1920s, what I understand, and when the Kentucky Historic Preservation Society, because these were so old, they wouldn't let us take these out and put new ones in that replicated the 12 over 12. So, but what's so interesting about the glasses in this room and in my office, they're not true. And so when you look out the window, you get distorted views because they just didn't have a way of making it a true thickness over the whole big pane of glass. So when you look out the window, you get these distortions, and so you really get an optical illusion, but it gives you a sense of history.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what we like about it, and so I encourage anyone to come. We have an elevator that goes from the ground floor, so it makes us handicap accessible, and anyone who has trouble climbing stairs, it makes it accessible for those folks. And we've had several visitors, but I want to invite the people of Washington County to come by and see it.
I agree 100%.
It's their office. It's their office. So.
And it's just beautiful, and it's surprising to me. I talk to people, and they've never even been in the courthouse. And I said, well, you need to come in to see the 1816 court. This is where you still, it is still in operation with fiscal court meetings, and
with the Lincoln
Legacy Museum. Yeah. It's wonderful, and I better put a plug in too for Lena, who's always in need of volunteers here for an hour or 2 hours, once a week, once a month,
Lena does a great job. She's a curator, I guess you would call her, of the museum, and she does a great job with the museum, but she's always needing volunteers, people to sit in for a few minutes, a couple hours. Not a whole people that do that bring their books, they'll bring their computer, they'll and work while they're here. But then when visitors come in, it's somebody that can answer questions and just be a body here.
Yeah.
I have a couple other things. I don't know how much time we have, Lisa. I don't know.
Well, we've got a minute or two.
There was a big change in the employment offices across the state, and it was announced that all the offices in our Lincoln Trail region were closing, including the one at Lebanon and then the satellite office here in Springfield. So I want to announce that those offices remain open. We do not have state employees, so unemployment benefits at this time can't be applied for. But any resume writing, any employment training information, all that is still accessible on a local level. On Tuesday, now at the same location on the second floor, there's a representative coming from the Marion County Lebanon Career Center coming over here. And I do want to commend the city of Springfield and Washington County Fiscal Court, because we made a decision to participate in that center over there, because we were going to lose it. And Marion County and Lebanon stepped up and said, we're going to fund it. And we found out that there were a lot of manufacturers in Washington County that use that career center. Matter of fact, there's a manufacturer locally having a job fair over there today. And so we found out it was very important to our community. And so the city and county stepped up through SWEDA. SWEDA made a contribution, an annual contribution that will be weighed out. We're going to see how many people participate, what kind of results we have, to see if that is an ongoing financial support. But we felt very strongly about that. We need to do that. One other thing I wanted to do with the Washington County Extension Office has opened their bids, and they're having a groundbreaking on their new site, which is across the road from the ECTC campus here in Springfield, out in the industrial park, and that will be on the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd or 22nd. Oh, my date's wrong, but anyway.
March the 22nd?
Yes, coming up real soon. They want to get started. They want to break ground and get started. So it's going to be exciting. Another, we have the new fire department, we have the new library, and our extension office. With that extension boardroom stays completely booked with all the different organizations around, and so they're excited to be able to get into a new building and have expanded room for community gatherings. And then I don't know if you've ever been in their offices, but they are tiny, and those people deserve some space. So I know I've talked way too much and probably gone over my time.
No, that was just really good, and I'm so glad we were able to get that information today. I know everybody wants to hear all the news. And so I just appreciate you being here with us today, Judge, because I know you've got a busy schedule.
Invite me back. There's always things happening. We can kill a half hour real quick, Lisa.
Yeah, we can. So anyway, I do appreciate you taking the time out today, and I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.